Hey guys, Brian with Buffalo Beer Reviews. Back with another Brewday video. Today we're going to be doing an amber ale. Very simple amber ale, but we're going to be using Noble Mosaic hops. So the first couple of batches I did of my amber ale, I did a straight amber ale with Cascade and Centennial. I called it the Red Cent. And I used White Labs 001, the California ale. Loved it, had a great time with it. Almost had a cool lemon lime sort of vibe to it. Lemon iced tea sort of vibe to it. Second time around, I did pretty much the same thing, but I used a dry amber yeast. And I didn't like it as much. I thought it didn't, I don't know if it had I don't know if the attenuation rate was a little bit lower, but it seemed to be a little bit cloudier. It looked a little bit hazier for some reason, and it shouldn't have. So this time around, I had some Noble Mosaic. I thought that sounded really good for like an amber ale. So I swapped out the Centennial for the Noble Mosaic, and I kind of left all of the amounts the same. So I'll put, like I said, I'll put the recipe in the description, but it's Maris Otter, 9.5 pounds of Maris Otter, a pound of Munich, 12 ounces of Crystal 40, 8 ounces of Crystal 120, half a pound of Victory Malt. I'm gonna bitter it with a decent Magnum charge. Then at 10 minutes, I'm gonna do a half an ounce of Cascade and a half an ounce of the Noble Mosaic. And then at 0 flame out as it cools down. I'm not gonna whirlpool it or hop stand it this time. Just 0 minutes hits. I'm gonna put the remaining half ounce of Cascade and half ounce of Noble Mosaic in, cool it down, pitch the yeast, wait 10 days. I mean, when you do these hazy IPAs and these New Englands with all of these different hop steps and dry hopping and whirlpooling, and it can be a pretty extensive and intricate brew day. So it's nice when you get this regular little amber ale brew day. It feels like the day goes by really fast. Do you know what I mean? I have everything milled up from the last brew video. I will throw up, where is it? Over here. I was talking about batch sparging and fly sparging and stuff like that. So I had such enjoyment using rice hulls with my past brews and recipes and stuff like that, that I went ahead and I got a couple of different pounds of rice hulls and I threw this in this batch, and I'm hoping that it's going to help the lautering process, the rinsing off process, without getting into, you know, beta glucanase enzyme brewing and stuff like that. If I can get a little bit higher bump up in my original gravity from batch sparging, so be it. That's what I'll do, and I'll see what I can get. My Beersmith has me starting at 1.066 original gravity. I'm hoping to get again 1.06, 1.062. I really am. I'm gonna try for that. But in all honesty, I don't know. These are all the brews I did earlier this year. I'm gonna see if I can't find. Yeah, the amber ale, the last time I brewed it, I only got to 1052, and the first batch was 1052. So I'm hoping with the rice hulls and, you know, a lengthy batch sparge that I can increase that starting gravity, really. And I'm gonna try to shoot for something that's in the low 6% range. The other ones were low 5%, and they were really, really good, almost dangerous, because you could just keep drinking them. And that's why I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. Here, let's take a look at this. What are we at? We're at 161 degrees, so we're just about ready to mash in. There's my rice hulls on top of the crushed goodness. So I'm gonna put the camera down and I am going to mash in. Sweet. All right, guys, we want to shoot for about 152. It's slowly coming down. It was at 161 when I mashed in. It's slowly coming down to 155, which is still okay. I'm currently recirculating, and that temperature will kind of stabilize out. With my sort of brew kettle here on this mash and boil, the element doesn't kick on until you're like 5 degrees below your set temperature. So this can actually drift down to like 149 before this thing kicks on. So this gives me a little bit of cushion, leeway to kind of keep an eye on the temperatures before it falls too low, and I can kind of readjust this to kind of, if this is at 150, I can raise this up too and start the element again. But I'm going to be happy with right about 154. I usually set it about 2 degrees higher than what my mash temperature should be. The rice hulls are already kind of playing nicely. You can just kind of tell with how I have my valve throttled back with the flow rate here and my resting liquid level down here. I don't know if you can see it because of the lighting. I just have the spoon here just to kind of keep the grain basket off the side of the kettle where the drain out is. Now this is not the most ideal setup. Typically you are supposed to throttle on the out of the pump. That's how you're supposed to do it. But money, right? So we're talking about, this is on the cheaper end of the pumps. It's going to get me there. It's going to get me experience using a pump and getting the pumps going like that. So after I get my experience, I can go ahead and spend $140 on a pump, $200 on a Riptide, and get it throttled and valved accordingly. But until then, this my setup. Is it, professional brew grade stuff? No, but we're making beer, and it's good beer. To me, it's good beer. So I'm happy with that. We've got about 57 minutes left in the mash, and in the meantime, I'm gonna clean up the fermentation area. Oh, here, this is the last video I made. Let me unrobe Mr. Nelson real quick. Oh yes, look at this thing. It smells awesome. Earlier this morning I did my second dry hop into it, so the second dry hop is working away. It smells like white grapes and buttery sort of savoriness. The cashmere are just doing their thing along with the Nelson. I hope that it's as partially enjoyable as the aromas would suggest. But I've got some cleaning up to do. My workbench is a mess, so I've got an hour mash in to get this cleaned up. And then I'm going to move on to the rest of the basement. It's the kids' kind of arts and crafts area, but I can kind of organize the shelf area, get the boxes put away and stuff like that, make it more presentable overall. But Brewday, Mow the Noble Red is underway. All right, we're just coming up on about a half hour into the mash. It has been a smooth brew day. Look at that color. Just a great sort of, like an iced tea sort of brown amberish ale. So I'm really happy. I hope it stays around like that. I hope our yeast falls all the way out and keeps it super clear. I didn't say on the recipe, but I will throw a Werflock in there just to make sure all of that stuff kind of does settle out. But man, I'll tell you, This has been, knock on wood, this has been a pretty nice brew day so far. I did get some sweeping done. I did get the workbench semi-organized. You know what I mean? Like, I'll throw these in the laundry. Those are going to be gone after brew day. The scale is going to be gone after brew day. Stuff like that. But just little things helps keep everything in line. I'll try to find a place. I'm doing a Belgian double next. Like, this is my my Maris Otter. I'm sorry, that's my 2-row for the Belgian double. So I don't really need to get rid of that because it's going to be used in a brew day in about a week. You know what I mean? So I got all my base malts organized and reweighed and labeled. This is my kick bucket. It's an old surgery term. These are my kick buckets for brew days. You can see, you know, there's the shit that I've been sweeping up, all of my wrappers and stuff. And yeah, no, I'm just trying to stay moving. Trying to organize, keeping the brew space from contaminating myself. You know what I mean? Sorry guys for another mash update, but I have let the mash kind of the grain bed set and sit undisturbed for a little bit. I guess, you know, that creates like a nice little self-filtering system, and I don't have a sight glass or anything like that, so I'm just kind of picked the ladle up and took a look at the wort, and just look at how nice and clear that is. Do you guys remember just a few moments ago I had the camera on the wort and it looked a little on the hazy side, a little on the agitated side, but this is clear. I mean, the spiral tip of that kind of nozzle is under the water, and you can see it, and it's nice and clear looking. The runnings are nice and clear. I'm really happy about this. So I'm going to try to keep that. I'm going to try to keep that grain bed intact as I pull the grain basket up at the end of mash and start my my sparging process. You know how you try to sparge and disperse the water evenly. One, to get all of the grain washed, and to, you know, prevent any channeling that occurs in X, Y, and Z. So I'll try to keep that as nice as possible and hopefully keep that clarity. Really, I'm really excited about this beer. All right, mash is done. Everything's gone so smoothly today. I've been able to pretty much recirculate this mash almost at full bore open valve with this thing, and I haven't done any overflow. So, and everything has gone so nicely today. I was able to do a mash out. I was able to easily come up. I was at 168 for a little bit, just got crept up to 170. I was able to reach 168 fairly quickly and mash out at 168 for about 10 minutes. I guess that really is to make sure that all of your grains and stuff have a full range of fermentable or extractable sort of temperatures and whatnot. So I've been really happy about that. So right now I'm gonna close out the valve, kind of empty it into my my Pyrex, kind of undo the pump for now as I'm bringing it up to boil temperatures. I'm going to pull the grains out. I'm going to fly sparge with a couple of cups of fresh water. I'm going to hook the pump back up to the grain basket that's going to be sitting about up here, and I'm going to batch sparge with the pump through the grains. That will save me the time and energy from pulling, you know, quart after quart after quart from the spigot, and then manually sparging over the grain beds. So just give me an extra couple of hands, free hands, to set that up, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Okay, I hit the grains with 6 quarts of fly sparging. It's like 1.5 gallons. Now I have the valve a little bit halfway open, have this just resting up on top of the Pyrex so it doesn't pull so much on the tubing. And you can kind of see, just kind of, let me zoom out a little bit, sorry, just moving the wort over the grain bed ever so often to kind of recirculate the wort through the grain bed to wash it all off. Now, with this level of batch sparging, I really do think that my efficiencies or my gravity is going to be noticeably different from my other batches. I have a feeling. I hope so. Like I said, I'm still new to this, year and a half in. I want to make good beer. I want to make stuff that's, you know, repeatable and with a reliable process. And I want to know why I'm doing this stuff to make it, you know, more to really hammer in the fact that I'm doing this for a reason and I need to keep doing this stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm excited. This has been a very smooth brew day, and I want it to keep going that way. Okay, sparging is complete. I was really happy about that. I still have a little bit of runnings going on just from the liquid still being in there, but I was able to sparge right back up to about 5.75 gallons. Now that's going to give me about around a half gallon of boil off. With the chiller and the hop basket X, Y, and Z, I'm going to have a little bit of loss volume wise there. It's going to allow me still, I think, to put about 5 maybe to 5.25 gallons into the fermenter. But you have to remember, we're not really dry hopping this beer, so I'm not going to have much loss of volume due to the dry hopping and the trub and stuff like that. You will always have a little bit of loss due to the yeast and the dropout and stuff like that. But overall, I'm hoping 4.75 gallons into the keg. That'll be nice. Oh, and a quick update, a game day decision. Added a hop. So we're going to do our Magnum bittering, half at 60. We're going to do Cascade and Mosaic, a half an ounce at 10. I'm also going to put in some lemon drop. I really enjoyed the way that this beer was with the Centennial and Cascade, and I wanted to make sure that I got at least a little bit more of a suggestion of the lemon or stuff like that, that Arnold Palmer sort of effect. So I think I'm going to do a quarter of an ounce at 10 minutes with the Noble Mosaic and the Cascade, and I'm also going to do another quarter of an ounce at 0 minutes with the remainder of the Mosaic and the Cascade. Like I said, game day decision. We'll see. I know the alpha acids are very low, so what I do think I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into my Beersmith. I'm going to put it into my Beersmith, and I'm going to see if the IBUs are still about the same. If they are, then I will keep the Magnum bittering edition at, what do I have it? I have it at 0.3 ounces. Typically I do like 0.2 ounces because I have a lot of other hops that I'm using in it. If the lemon drop kicks that bitterness up a little bit, right now my IBUs are at like 15.6. So if it comes up considerably, even into the 20s, I'll lower the Magnum to like maybe 0.2 and see if that helps, really. So that's about it. I know this is kind of weird stuff, but it just kind of kicked into my memory. I was like, oh, I've got lemon drop hops upstairs. I'll see about using them. So we're at one, we dropped down a little bit with the sparging process. I'll kick my 1600 watts. It was at 1000 watts while I was talking to everybody, but I'll kick it up to 1600 watts. And I'll pick back up. I won't do the bittering hop addition. I'll pick back up at the 10-minute mark when we're doing our Noble Mosaic and Cascade, and I want to see what those aromas are like on the Noble Mosaic. Do you know what I mean? I haven't smelled them yet. Quick little tip along the way too, guys. I have my hop additions all measured out. I have my I'm gonna stick with the 0.3 of Magnum. My IBUs did not go up hardly at all with the 6% lemon drop addition. So 60-minute, a 10-minute, and a 0-minute hop additions. I have those ready to go. But what I wanted to show you guys is I have the vacuum bags, but I'll leave the hops right in one so that I can see what they are. I already have it labeled that I have 0.7 ounces left. But what this allows me to do is reuse this bag. Once this Magnum is used up, I'll cut it off gingerly, and I might be able to use this for, a naked hop addition into there and have my dry hops set up for another brew day without having to kind of burn through a bag. Same thing with my lemon drop. I got 0.5 ounces left over out of this lemon drop. It's sitting there. I'll use it for another brew day gingerly, and then I can reuse a good portion of this bag for another hop schedule, dry hop schedule, or storage or whatnot. Just a little thing. You know how it is. Home brewing can be expensive as it is, and if you can save a little bit of money or be efficient in other ways, so be it. Ah, shit. Sorry, guys. I got busy with cleaning up and brew day stuff that I forgot to do the 10-minute and boil out hop additions. I'm already cooling. So we're down to about 92 degrees. It looks like I've got 5.5. Looks like I have 5 1/4 gallons in the brew kettle. I don't know if that's gonna translate perfectly to 5 1/4 into the fermenter, but it's a really good start. I'm thinking about maybe a liter of yeast loss from the fermenter. So yeah, I'm still thinking like 4 3/4 gallons, close to 5 gallons into the keg at the end of the brew days. Really cool. I don't think you're gonna need to see me getting the fermenter dumped out and ready to be filled. I'm not using the pump this time around. I'm just going to do it to gravity to try to keep like a ginger eye on those flame out hop additions that I have into the kettle, stuff like that. So I'm going to try to do it gingerly so I don't transfer all of those hops kind of into the fermenter, whatnot. So that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed a look into another brew day. I hope you guys take a look at the recipe. If you guys think it looks fun, then brew it. If you tweak it, just let me know, and maybe I might try that tweak too. If it sounds like a cool idea, you know what I mean? So I appreciate all the clicks and the watches, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.